It all began in the summer of 1981 when Rabbi Nehemiah and Masha Vogel arrived in Rochester to begin Chabad activities with the blessing and encouragement of the Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Chabad on campus and in the community had begun. In 1988, Rabbi Dovid and Chani Mochkin joined the Chabad team to expand Chabad's community activities. Chabad's summer day camp doubled in size. In 1997, Chabad moved into its new Center for Jewish Enrichment. In 2004, the next Chabad generation, Rabbi Asher and Devorah Leah Yaris, arrived to direct Chabad on campus and take it to the next level. Our youth is our future, and it's critical that our kids on the college campus get positive Jewish input.
My fondest memories going back to my college days were at the Chabad house. As one progressed through college, it was always like the home away from home, where you could go every Friday night. And in fact, that's what the atmosphere that we encountered at the Chabad house is the same atmosphere that we try to recreate for our family every Shabbos night. And we have guests over, we have songs. I try to remember some of the stories that I was told at the Chabad house and retell them to my children.
You go for the food and a good meal and you walk out spiritually lifted, even if that's not your intent on going. You know, just going every week for Shabbos and stuff like that end up influencing you in ways that you never expected to.
Over the years, thousands of youngsters have had their Jewish batteries recharged at Chabad House and have gone on to raise their own Jewish families.
All of these things that we started at the University of Rochester Chabad House have just blossomed, and they keep on growing and growing.
Jewish education is the key to Jewish survival. Chabad's classes have become a major resource for Jewish adult education in the community.
My husband and I have been attending JLI classes for the last few years. I find them very challenging in many ways. They're challenging and stimulating intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and that I'm kind of hooked. I've been going back, and each one is exposing me to something I've never learned before, and yet they're accessible.
I never understood the attraction and the commitment to Jewish learning until we took these classes, and we're getting a very small taste of what learning is about, what studying Gemara is about, the mechanism, the process, and then there's the product that we're learning much more than we knew existed. Chabad is almost like an anchor to Judaism.
Chabad's Diners Club, where teens can get a good kosher lunch and more.
Going to Chabad has been really fun. The food there is great. The pizza is amazing, not too expensive. It's really what I'm looking forward for every day after when I have a free period.
Makes me feel really good to know that he has a warm, comfortable place that welcomes him, and we really appreciate that it's there and that it's so close to the high school and so convenient and just such a wonderful place for him to go.
Camp Gan Israel, known as Gan Izzy, has a simple philosophy: to create a Jewish environment that is wholesome, safe, and fun, and where every child is unconditionally loved.
I knew on the first day when I picked him up and he didn't want to come home that, that it was a wonderful place. The counselors, very welcoming. It's been great. I mean, the trips are amazing, the things that they get to do and the experiences they have, and I love the little challahs that come home on Fridays. The things that my husband and I haven't learned, or maybe it's something that we don't know, or some song that we hadn't heard before when we were children. So it's we feel like we're gaining something from it as well. It's just focused on the kids and making sure that they have a good time, and they always do.
Many Russian Jewish families have made Rochester their new home, and Chabad is there to help them with their Jewish needs, including brises and weddings.
When we arrived to Rochester, we heard about Chabad and the Hanukkah party for Russian Jews. And some Russian people who just arrived to America, they were happy to attend this party because it was never so kind of parties in the former Soviet Union. Every year we attend the first and the second Seder. The family of Olga Solonitchny arrived to Rochester 3 years ago. Chabad helped them to all 3 children. All 3 children were free in the camp. Chabad never forget the Russian Jewish community.
Over the years, Chabad's model matzah bakery has become a Rochester Passover tradition. Children have learned about matzah, have become parents themselves, and now bring their children to the bakery. That's nachas.
For as long as I can remember, every year at the JCC I've taken my classes to the matzah factory, and every year we learn about Pesach as it comes along, and the Exodus, and we learn about the story of the Jewish people. However, it all comes to life when we come to the matzah factory. There we learn the story, that all of their senses are involved. The ultimate, of course, is making the matzah. And for weeks and weeks after the matzah factory, that's really what we hear about, the matzah and how the Jewish people left Egypt, and this becomes a part of them, and they learn about it, and it's all alive to them. It's not a story that they hear about. Keep on doing what you're doing.
I must say I am very, very impressed with what Chabad does for the community. The Sukkah-mobile, the Purim carnivals. Then there was in Hanukkah, I remember one year he passed out pennies to all the kids, and then they had to give it back with tzedakah. And they do it at the JCC, so it's very public. Among the things I admire most about Chabad is they don't define you by your level of observance. If you're Jewish, that's wonderful. And if you may not adhere to all the 113 or 613 mitzvot, well, maybe next year you will, or maybe tomorrow you will. And that's this wonderful, wonderful attitude that makes you feel very, very comfortable when you are with the Chabadniks.
Simcha, happiness, is a key element in serving God. So what better way to celebrate a holiday than to share its joy with others?
I remember first being introduced to Chabad, and I thought to myself, these guys with long beards and black coats, and I'm so far from that. I was like very apprehensive. But after that first meeting, it was so welcoming, and it was so accepting, and it was like an awakening. For the first time, I really started feeling Jewish. I really started, wanting to learn more about what it meant to be Jewish. I looked at at people differently. I looked at my life differently. And I just feel dedicated now to trying to learn as much as I can about being Jewish. And the blessing of it all is that before my mother passed away, she saw that I had gotten very involved with being more aware of what it means to be Jewish. Going to Chabad, it really awakened that Pintele Yid, as we say, the little Jewish spark.
Chabad has positively influenced our lives this past year. We've been to a number of Shabbat dinners at the rabbi's house, and when we spend time together on Shabbat, I feel as if the whole weekend is a magical weekend for us.
The Rebbe taught unconditional love for each other, and so Chabad reaches out to Jewish hospital patients and nursing home residents.
The project did begin 25 years ago. We did visit people in nursing homes whose family, they had no family here at all. Families had moved away. There are people that never get anyone to come visit them. I think it's a wonderful project.
Chabad harnesses modern technology to spread the message of Jewish identity. In the past year, Chabad's website had over 40,000 hits. The Chabad Times and the Jewish Art Calendar bring holiday awareness into every Jewish home. And for mezuzahs and koshering kitchens, Chabad makes house calls.
My house wasn't kosher, so the rabbis had come to the house. They came with a huge pot and great big rubber gloves and 4 hands. And we were very happy that we were able to sit down at the table with our children, with our grandchildren.
I have been involved with the Jewish community practically all my life, and I feel that Chabad is a blessing to the Rochester community.
There's always Chabad, and that's a standard phrase. There's always Chabad, and I think there always will be Chabad, and there should always be Chabad. It's become an important part of our lives.
It's really been a wonderful organization here in Rochester.
I'm a big fan of Chabad.
The door is always open to me, and I always feel like I have a place to go that I'm wanted.
Chabad is really cool.
And thank you so much.
Chabad is absolutely phenomenal.
I have a sister who has been in the hospital for over seven months and has been visited every week by the rabbi.
They all are there to help you. Try it, you'll like it.
Camp is really fun.
Barb and I actually met at a Purim party. Well, the rest is history.
Puff the kosher dragon.
Say God Izzy.
With God's help, this 25th anniversary is just the beginning. L'chaim to the future.